jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.
Shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. A-side official. No negotiation needed, period. You already know this is Eclipse Day, man. And what better live to do than to bring it to your attention that the eclipse of boxing is taking place in front of us also. You know what I'm saying? He's pretty much about to eclipse a lot of fighters that felt that they was in a league of their own. You know what I'm saying? WCS is here to let them know, no, it's something else going on. Just like the eclipse is going on today. It's something that's waiting, you know, that may eclipse the 154-pound division. And even freaking boxing itself, man, because it's going down. We just waiting for the official word to drop so we can disseminate this information out to the airwaves. Let me get to the chat, man. The first in the building, Carlos Rosado, is on deck. WCS salute, three-time undisputed. Is going to sound so sweet, man. Talk to him, man. Talk to him. Shout out to the MACKMOBB. The Mac Mob is in the building. Man, what's good with you? Y'all definitely go check him out. Man, your live was fire. Man, your live was fire. I don't do many panels, but you know what I'm saying? I enjoy others who have good, solid panels, man. You know what I'm saying? Solid fire live the other day. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Fistiana in the building. And a participant of that live, I ain't never heard Fistiano got named with the flamethrowers like that. I had to wipe off my screen and say, is that for real? Is that who I think? Okay. And I had to double check. You know what I'm saying? Fistiano was about all the smoke, man. Things have changed on this YTC, for real. People coming out, throwing blows. Shout out to the XO Factory in the building. What's good with the XO? How you living, man? OGWCS, what's good, big bro? Fistiana say peace, WCS in the chat. Peace to you, queen. You know what it is. Hey, you on deck? Mac WCS shot from Detroit. Mac, great show last night, bro. Yeah, for sure, man. Shout out to Detroit boxing fans, man. You know what I'm saying? No doubt about it. Love to that footprint over there. Stickum Boys Fishing and Sports on deck. I don't know if y'all know, but it's supposed to be an eclipse today. You know what I'm saying? That was the whole theme of this. You know what I'm saying? Being the Crawfords eclipsing a lot that's going on in boxing. In the eyes of some people. But, you know, if he gets his opportunity to fight for a unification of 154 pounds, man, I'm telling you, it's gonna be crazy. He's gonna be shading a lot of people out. I'm telling you. I'm talking about who's the greatest and who ain't the greatest of this era. You know what I'm saying? I like it if it all goes down. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you, thank you, young soldier, appreciate it. It's from B-Mac. Fistiana say the Mac Mar, hey family. Shout out to the ones who over here from the Mac Mob freaking subscribers, man. Appreciate y'all pulling up. You know what I'm saying? Fire live the other day. Arnold Brown on deck. I see you, man. WCS salute to you and the hottest MF and chat in the game. A-side official, no negotiations needed, period. Appreciate you, man. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you. Christopher White is in the building. What's good with it, Chris? Appreciate you pulling up as always, man. Thanks for supporting the channel, my brother. Sir Foul Player Brooklyn is in the building. Man, no, I was taking care of something, bro. You know what I'm saying? I was taking care of something. MacMon said, appreciate WCS. Thank you, OG. I appreciate it. No, I appreciate you, man. You know, not everybody conduct panels that, have a topic that everybody want to, get active. There's people over there getting active. There's people over there getting active, man. They was picking up their tone, man. Nah, that's the way it is. Hey, man, that's what it should be about most of the time, That's what it should be like. But y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the Mac Mob. You know what I'm saying? Show him some love. You know what I'm saying? Check the brother out. He's been on for more than a minute. Let's talk about the task at hand. I want to first throw out this fight card that's going to be going down You know what I'm saying? Jared Anderson versus Riyad Murray. Yeah, Jared Anderson supposed to be the next best young heavyweight in the game right now. You know what I'm saying? At this present time, you know what it is with Jared Anderson. He's the real big baby, but lately he been acting like he's the original big baby. I'm not, you know, I'm not sugarcoating this shit, but Jared Anderson is 16 victories in, 0 defeats, 15 coming by way of knockout, with a KO percentage of 93.75. Now, his alias is Big Baby, of course, age 24. He's a youngin' in the game. 6'4", 78.5-inch reach. He's going in there against Riyad Murray, who's 32 victories and 2 defeats, 26 come by way of knockout. He's 34 years of age, a bit older, you know what I'm saying, than Anderson, orthodox. And his KO percentage is 81.25%. The reason why I'm, you know, providing you those recorded KO numbers, because, you know, a lot of people feel that this fight potentially may not go the distance. And, you know, both of these guys have high KO percentages, so it should be quite interesting. But for Jared Anderson, as of late, he's been just getting in trouble. You know what I'm saying? He was in trouble last year. He ended up getting in trouble this year, which pretty much, in my opinion, superseded his actions last year, because he had operating a vehicle while intoxicated. Somehow that was kind of thrown out, right? You know what I'm saying? Then turned back around. This time, I don't know if he was intoxicated again, but he attempted to flee. You know what I'm saying? And he had a sports car too. I think it was a Dodge Charger. I don't know if he had the package on there or not. He didn't get too far. He ended up hitting the guardrail. But the whole point of what I'm trying to make is that the man attempted to flee from law enforcement, and he was arrested. I don't know what's going on. You know, these boxers at the end of the day, they have domestic issues all the time. I tell people that. You know, they get hit in the head. They're going to do some funky shit every now and then. But, you know, in the heavyweight division right now, it's pretty empty. Everybody was talking about Deontay Wilder sending him about his way. Well, he's not on his way. He's supposed to come back, but he's not champion anymore. So who do we have on the lineup who may be the next best, you know, in the U.S.? And that's supposed to be Jared Anderson. You know what I'm saying? So let's hope he get himself on track, man. Go in here and have a solid performance. I had the opportunity to shoot ringside when he fought the former heavyweight world champion, Charles Martin. You know what I'm saying? The Prince himself. And that was a hell of a fight. I'm not going to lie. Anderson showed me he had a beard. He got caught with some very stiff shots from Martin. And, you know, both of them was in adversity throughout the fight. But Anderson pulled through and got the victory, man. It was a good damn fight. I'm not going to lie. But for those of you that's planning on tuning in, here's the fight card, okay? You do have F.A. Jogbone there. Abdullah Mason, shout out to the Mason clan. Abdullah Mason's back on deck. Hobson Conceição, he's back on deck already. John Walker. So this is a fight card for you. You know what I'm saying? So what people really want to know is, let me see who else pulled up what was said over here. Shout out to the OG Mr. Golden in the building. So per the title, y'all, Crawford looks to be unbeatable. His quest to unify super welterweight division, and Ennis versus Benn bait. So let me get to the Crawford situation, because he's been in a situation for quite some time, whether people want to acknowledge that or not. The man at this juncture in his career with 40 victories in the game and 0 defeats, he looked to be unbeatable. He looked to be unbeatable. I say unbeatable. He looked to be unbeatable. The reason why I'm saying that is because boxing is an annual sport, and you have so many names out there that can grace the square with Crawford, that Crawford can grace the square with them. But you have to call it for what it is when they deny They deny him. They deny his request. You know what I'm saying? Starting with Canelo. Canelo denied his request because he wants to use the default and say what? I gain nothing from facing Crawford. What do I gain? You know what I'm saying? You gain something, yes, for sure, because you're not fighting a bum. You know what I'm saying? It's just like Floyd Mayweather gained something from beating you back in the day, Canelo. You know? Yeah, they're going to say you was a bit green, but they were for sure this young Mexican fighter was going to deliver Floyd his toughest challenge, potentially, and put a blemish on his record, but it didn't happen. But for a long time, Floyd Mayweather was your only loss on your record. He gave you opportunity. Floyd gave Canelo Alvarez an opportunity when Canelo really wasn't anybody. He hasn't, launched into superstardom yet. So when Crawford called him out, he was like, he don't have anything to gain. He beat him, and they're gonna say he was too small or whatever the case may be. I think deep down inside, in my heart, that's just excuses. In the street term, that'll be some bullshit. And Canelo fought Mel Charlo, who's one division higher than Crawford. He fought him no problem. Yeah, I know people gonna say, "Oh man, somebody fucked around and had two of them Charlos. So one Charlo man couldn't make it. Just throw the other one in there." Well, the other Charlo was at 60. He would have been more equipped, as far as weight wise, as far as his credentials goes. He would have been more equipped to step up in there. And because he was trying to transition, he was attempting to tease us with a transition to 168, but never quite put the hammer down. They grabbed Jermell Charlo out of 54. So what I'm saying is, Canelo denying Crawford that request, in my opinion, was a duck on his part, because a lot of people believe that Crawford is a dangerous fighter, and he will give Canelo a pretty good challenge in there. He will. You know what I'm saying? Crawford is stronger than what people give him credit for. They still looking at the 135 Crawford, and they should be looking at the 154 Crawford, potentially 160 Crawford, just the fighter that they have in front of them that's a two-time undisputed. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell them. And then, before he stepped in there and fought Spence, he was telling people, after I beat Spence, I want that. He called some unsavory, some impolite names. He called Jermell Charlo. And one of those names was a biatch. He didn't say it in that manner. But he said, man, when he was whooping Spence, he said, "You a hoe ass nigga. You can read his lips." No, he said, "You a bitch ass nigga. You a bitch ass nigga." He told him. And Mel Charlo was sitting next to his girl and everything, up there telling all them lies to James Harden. But people hear me talk about Crawford, and they always feel like it's just fanboyism. And I always tell them, like, in order for you to really rock hard, or support a fighter heavy, you have to be a fan of them. There's no rule in boxing to say that you got to be a fan of the sport and not the boxer. The way I see Crawford right now, I'm just happy to see, like, another one of my favorite fight, Deontay Wilder. I have an opportunity, man, to say that I lived through that era. You know what I'm saying? Crawford right now looks unbeatable. You know what I'm saying? It just looks like nobody that's out there that's supposed to be equal or greater. That is the key terms, y'all. Equal or greater than Crawford. When you mention the name Boots, Boots doesn't turn on any lights for people to say he's equal or greater than Crawford. That was the discussion that they used with Roy Jones Jr. They say Roy fought people, but someone wasn't, some of the names that he terminated wasn't equal to his fight, his skill set. So they weren't equal. They can't be greater. At this point in time, people are going to tell you Canelo is equal or greater than Crawford, depending on who you speak to. Jermell, they can say Jermell may be equal, but not too many may tell you he's greater. Crawford's basically achieved more than Jermell Charlo. And what Jermell do? Jermell dropped off all those belts. He went up there and fought Canelo, and then just came clean. You know, the WBO was stripped, vacated the IBF and the WBA, and he's a champion in recess with the WBC, y'all. But he wouldn't face that monster. You see the one on the thumbnail in the shadows. You know what I'm saying? The one that's standing in the light. They wouldn't give him the opportunity. I'm saying to myself, why though? Like, people can get mad that I'll say Crawford's looking unbeatable, but you have to understand my preface for that. Like right now, Canelo's turned him down. Jermell Charlo's turned him down. Right? Fundora. They turned him down. You know? And then Zoo, they up there talking about Errol Crawford. And then when YSM asked freaking Jaron Ennis a direct question, one of the best questions you can ask a fighter, once you said, I get that belt, it's over. I get that strap, I'm stepping on him. I get the belt, it's over. You get the belt via inbox etiquette, you have mail. You have mail. Bing, bing, bing. So you get your administrative belt, and Jamil asks you, so an ideal fight for you, who would you like to fight? It doesn't get any more perfect than that. And he said, Stan Dionis, Sugar Ray Robinson, and that other guy, Crawford. So this is where I'm at with it when I say that he's looking unbeatable, because fighters that pretend like they want to fight him, they're supposed to be at the top of the food chain, they're not calling out his name first. F-I-R-S-T, first. If you really want Crawford, call his name out all the time. Somebody asks you first, Crawford, Bud. That's it. That's who I want. Okay, let's go to Teofimo. Teofimo was making a buzz, pretending like they wanted Crawford. You know what I'm saying? They was getting some buzz around here, clout chasing. And he was one of them, you know, look, T.O.'s one of my fighters I support heavy too. Well, you know, it's kind of drifted off a little bit, but he was calling Crawford out, and he's basically saying who is he fought and all this stuff, and talking about he was the, you know, the first two-time undisputed. Diddy James try to, you know, shit on Crawford and say, you know, T.O. did it first. But we all know that Crawford had all the belts when the post-fight interview went down. And once it came down, you know, to T.O. owning up to that, he say, I'll fight Crawford. He say he the best. I think I'm the best. You know, with all the trash talk he was saying that he fought a weight drain Spence, well, T.O. say he'll fight that man at the catch weight. I'm going to tell you, T.O., I was so disappointed in you, because I really wanted to, you know, you to move up and do something that I was assuming you wouldn't have an issue with. And that was challenging yourself at 147 pounds. You know, daring to be great like you did with Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? I betted on T.O. that Lomachenko fight. I thought you was going to dare to be great. All I'm saying is there's fighters out there that say they want to fight Crawford, but they don't. They don't check the box. They don't go through the necessary measures to make it official, bro. You got to make this shit official. You talking about the black eclipse of boxing? Who else is out there? You know what I'm saying? I named Canelo, right? I've named Jermell Charlo out the one, the Fundora, Zoo, none of them. Ennis, none of them. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. You know, some of the other fighters at 154 won't even talk Crawford's name. You know, because the good part I like is that they're not talking Crawford's name like he don't deserve to be spoken about. It's that the fact they ain't talking his name because they know they're not going to get the fight. They know what lane he's in right now, and they understand he's in a different gear with the gas pedal to the floor. He's looking for big fights to bring him the money that he's looking for. Those fighters at 154 knows that they're not it. They don't have a title. So the news that's providing Crawford with this huge shadow of potentially him being able to circumvent the bullshit that PBC was attempting to put in his pathway. And that was they wanted to send Errol Spence over to Vegas to basically front and say, I want to make this Fundora fight next. And that was before the fight happened, which made it so crazy. And I would think they would have some type of agreement, you know what I'm saying, between one another that, yes, definitely we're fighting. But it wasn't no agreement. It was just an impulsive move to put that man on a plane to take away any type of shine they believed that Crawford was getting. It imploded in their faces, man. Because Fundora, again, his nose broke. Zoo had like a potentially 4 to 5 inch cut on his head. He has to stay out, suspension. Fundora has to stay out suspension until they freaking put some duct tape on his nose and freaking inject some collagen in there and bone marrow and everything else, you know what I'm saying? Or just basically grow him an entire different nose. They growing noses on rats and labs and shit now. They can grow him a whole new nose. You can't go in there with Crawford with a fragile nose now. You know what I'm saying? Crawford will get to it one way or the other. He'll wipe it one way or the other there, Fundora. But I like Fundora, but they wasn't all about providing Crawford, his team, providing Crawford with that opportunity. So right now, I'm saying he looks unbeatable if the Turk Al-Sheikh is willing to be the financier, the investor, the promoter. If they're willing to get behind Crawford in a 2-title fight unification, this is epic. The good guy is starting to get the treadway, man. The good guy is starting to make things pop the right way. I'm not saying he wasn't doing, but the good guy is beginning to get those powerful role players to show that appreciation of Crawford. They said that he didn't know what he was doing. They always like to use Bob Arum, say, that, he lost enough money to buy a house. And yeah, you can say all that. That was only because of his guarantee. You can say all that. But I like what Turk Al-Sheikh doing, the excellency, the royalty, the man himself, the prince. If he's willing to get behind Crawford in his debut in the U.S., and have the fight in a place that straight up benefits Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the way I look at it. Them guys over there in Saudi Arabia is much bigger than a lot of areas that we consider the Mecca of boxing. Like, just say, for instance, we're talking about New York. What's the Sheik want to go to New York for what? You know what I'm saying? Like, if he's here to basically put on a fight for everyone to see, he doesn't have to have it in NYC. He doesn't have to have it in Vegas. The reason being is because these people have a crazy budget. They have a crazy budget, so they're not looking into these footprints, these Mecca boxing footprints, so that they can sell these pay-per-view numbers and make sure they get their money back. If that was the case, they wouldn't be putting on these fights over in their home, in their backyard with the arena. I mean, not even all the way, a full cup. They're not even worried about it. Then they got them crazy promos, man. They got them sick promos, and everything is like gory, like a Marvel comic type freaking edit. You know what I'm saying? So they can have Crawford go anywhere he wants to go, and he will sell out, because right now, he's on a like a last freaking space mission voyage. He's on a space voyage right now, because he's on his way out of his career and he's looking for none for big fights. And then here you go, you have the man from a whole different country potentially going to go over here and support and make the fight because he don't like bullies, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad. You know what I'm saying? He's showing he don't like bullies because that's exactly what PBC was trying to do. Crawford's independent. Spence is with PBC. And they sat back and watched this and they say, you know, I guess they didn't get my drift the first time where I kind of showed that they're not welcome over here. You know what I'm saying? You know, they had all them promoters on the card, even Top Rank, Queensberry, you know, Master, all of them. But they didn't have PBC. So if you listen to the David Benavidez, if you listen to the Fundors, they don't have permission. Benavidez want the money, but they don't have permission. That's why I like this so much about Crawford potentially getting this big fight for unification over here, man. Because it's going to give him 2 belts for the price of 1. And then if he's basically patient in order for, you know, them to try to find out a way that he can fight for those other 2 belts, whether they're for unification together. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't know what's going to happen with, you know, Fundora once he comes back. They say they had a verbal agreement all of a sudden. He can say all he want that he want to rematch with Tim Tszyu, but we don't know if that's going to go down like that. I would like to see the rematch, but I would also like to see Crawford. He goes in here and beat Marjamov, and he's the WBO, WBA champion. I would like to see him unify with freaking Fundora, but I don't think it's going to happen because, you know, the Al Puba. You know, Al Puba is not granting access. I don't know what the hell's wrong with that dude. Like, this is boxing at the end of the day. It's not like you haven't co-promoted before. You've co-promoted, man. How can y'all dislike Crawford so bad? You know, and those individuals who listen to my live, right? When I said that the only problem that I had with Crawford is that, you know, he didn't play the fool. Like, he made it look too easy. Maybe he should have just played a little bit and took it to the 12th round and made it interesting. You know what I'm saying? Before he stopped and then gave them hope and say, you know, Showtime up there. We was going to leave, fellas, but he took it to the 12th. You think we should try to do it, you know, at the end of the year? What do you think? I don't know. He did go to the 12th with a good training camp and you know, being able to drop the weight, right? You know what I'm saying? Have a short window in between fights. I think he can do it. I think Spence can do it. You know what I'm saying? That's if Crawford would have finessed the situation. If he would have played around with his food. Because, goddamn it, Errol Spence was food that day. If Crawford just would have played around with his food a little bit and took it into the 12th round and then maybe got the TKO stoppage, Showtime might have hung around and say, man, let's try this one more again. That's all. Let's try it one more again, man. You sure you want to do this? Yeah, they went to the 12th round, man. This time he have a shorter window in between fights. He won't have that much weight to lose. Yeah. Let's try it again. You know what I'm saying? Let's try it again. And look, let's say it was at 154. At this point, it's a lot of people just want to see the fight happen. Like, through everything that I listened to on these channels, man, leading up to the fight about, you know, Spence doing all the heavy fucking lifting. I swear to God, if you listen to the lives, you listen to the freaking, the banter that was being, the rhetoric rather, that was being spewed. They was talking about Spence did all the heavy lifting. He got 3 belts. Crawford ain't did nothing but have that 1 belt. Who cares who he knocked out? He ain't beat nobody. He ain't beat nobody. Didn't we tell you? Spence did all the heavy lifting. He can beat everybody on Crawford's resume. So therefore, I mean, these people wasn't really giving Crawford any credit. They underestimated the art of war, y'all. You can never do that. because you'll get the results like we witnessed in 2023. All of us. What if we all had to go down to the station there, listeners? Shout out to the hottest chat in the MF game. What if we all had to go to the station and give our version of what we witnessed July 29th? Because we was all witnesses to that freaking attempted homicide, that T-Mobile massacre. We was all there. What if we had to go down to the station and get interrogated? What you gonna tell them? How would you say it? How would you explain what you seen? You will have to snitch on Crawford. You will have to tell him what you seen. Well, speak up, please. We can't hear you, and be clear with your words. Find your words. Find your words. Okay? Explain to me, because we got so many waiting out in the hallway. Okay? Let's get down to it. Explain to me what you seen. Well, the first round, it was pretty, 50, stuff. Okay, we heard the first round. What about the second? That is where it gets interesting from what I've been hearing from witnesses explain that. Well, sir, I'll put you back in the holding cell. Explain what you witnessed July 29th. Because from what evidence we have, that was a thrashing, a drubbing. You had that guy, what's his name? Hey, Charlie, what's his guy's name? Yeah, EJ, yeah. We were all a witness to the thrashing. It was bad. We was there. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, how Bud Crawford, you think about how it ended in the ninth, but what transpired in between the window from the second to the ninth, that's what's etched in people's thought process. How he was bleeding. His face was discolored in the second round, and it got even worse after that. All the multiple knockdowns and just the success that Bud Crawford had with everything that Spence was, throwing his way. We was all a witness to that attempted homicide. We was there. It was bad. And that's why, Showtime was like, no, we can't stay around for this, because it was just bad. It was too easy, regardless of even what the 154. I don't think it's going to be that drastic of a change that Spence is going to come back and say, man, okay, I'm at my weight now. I'm at a better weight now. Let's go. And then he goes in there and give Crawford problems. No, he's just too predictable. But right now, all people want is for Spence to step back in there with Crawford at a higher weight division to see if Crawford get tested any more than what they assumed he would get tested the first time they stepped in there, the 29th of July. AKA the Las Vegas bloodbath. They want to see, y'all. Who's on deck to stop him? A Nui gonna come up? Is a Nui somewhere close yet? Is a Nui gonna move up? Look, I guarantee y'all, if freaking a Nui said he wanted to fight Crawford at 47. Oh man. Would you have so much support? We talking about 26, 35, 40, 47. We talking about 4 divisions, right? People will be cheering him on. Yeah, the Japanese superstar Nui. He's about to go up here and beat Crawford. Crawford, he didn't see this. Man, come on, bro. Real talk. Who's gonna challenge Crawford? Because I know y'all hypocrites out there would be supporting a Nui from day in and day out, talking about, yeah, Crawford got a real one on his hand, a real one. Yeah, 4 division champ, yeah. 2 division undisputed, yeah. A Nui's the man. They wouldn't be talking that same talk like they did Bud when he was attempting to call out, he did, make it known that he wanted to fight Canelo. And they was telling me, oh man, he don't need to do that, man. That's 3 divisions. That's too much. But let a Nui call out Bud. The reason why I'm saying the new is because they hold resident on the pound for pound list. You know what I'm saying? They on the same block. You know what I'm saying? They're on the same block, so to speak. And Newey's been up there for quite some time. He's been a tenant for quite some time, y'all. So I'm saying I don't see Tank Davis. I don't see Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, Ennis, Cobbs, Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz. I don't even want to mention Keith Thurman's name, the junkyard dog, anymore until he get himself healed up, which may never happen. Erickson Lubin, I thought he may be a name that was vocal, but he hasn't really been vocal about Crawford on wanting to, fight Crawford like that. And then, of course, you have, the Fondoras, which I already said didn't want no parts. The Zoos. There's no need to mention any of their common opponents. It's no sense in that. I also have mentioned and suggested that Crawford to go to 160 prior to this 54 talk, because I just felt like if Jamel was going to keep the belts the way he was going to make it extremely difficult. And we all know the tick to the talk. Crawford's age is on the clock. We know that. He'll be 37 in September. So the tick to the talk, we got to keep it moving and keep it grooving. And we can't be waiting around for Jamel Charlo, who obviously don't want no parts of Crawford and have pretty much trash talked his way out of any interest that the fight fans was talking. So you got to ask yourself, who is next? Who can Crawford, I believe Crawford, if he unifies the division at 154, that's pretty much all he needs to do before he walks into retirement. I'm going to be honest. That's all he needs to do. But if you're listening, Crawford, you can go to 160 and pick up a belt. And that'll be your bag lunch out the door. You can become a 5-division champion. And you're already greater than a lot of people, no matter what records they hold. You know what I'm saying? These single individual achievements on how many titles they earned at this age. You're going to separate yourself. Coming 3-time undisputed. 4 weight division, possibly 5. You're going to separate yourself from a lot of fighters who's holding down those slots pretty comfortably early. You'll be the name. You'll be that Omaha Eclipse. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. You will be that guy. Real talk. You can get little bro, but I need some help with this sheet. I know what Mr. Golden talking about. The belt has done nothing for Boots' career. Shout out to Collins on deck. It can be the worst. I understand he was going through a legality situation. He had to, go to court for that boxing promotion of freaking Cameron Duncan, who passed away. Blessings. But they had to go to court because they didn't think the competence was there for her to further his career as far as, her being next in line, being the widow. And it was dismissed with prejudice. You know what I'm saying? So they're out of that and everything. And hopefully they don't get in another one. But like you said, Collins, we haven't heard anything. And that kind of ties in while we on the topic of the freaking Jerron Ennis and Conor Benn situation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just because you take a picture, man. I'm so sick and tired. Conor Benn's been around everywhere. Like, he take a picture with people and people go crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's why they do it, man. They did it with one fighter. And then people say, oh, man, Conor Benn is fighting so-and-so. Nope, he's not. And then him and Ennis, take a picture together and people go live talking about, hey, Conor Benn, Jerron Ennis next up. Okay. If they're in talks, what have I told you about talks? it really doesn't hold no weight until the official announcement is made. You feel me? So, does it make sense for Jaron Ennis to fight Conor Benn? Let's go take a gander once again at the welterweight division, where Jaron Ennis is the renowned IBF administrative logistics world champion. So Jaron Ennis, he was supposed to have like a purse bid or some type of negotiation with Cody Crowley. Where did that go? Where did that go? Did David Copperfield, David Blaine drop in and say, poof, be gone? He's out of here, y'all. Where did he go? What did the Cody Crowley situation? You know what I'm saying? And Giovanni Santillan is already locked in, we heard. I don't know how that is, but Giovanni Santillan is fighting Brian Norman Jr. That's going to be a hell of a fight. That's going to be a hell of a fight. You know what I'm saying? And then, I do want to be petty sometime. Real talk. I want to be petty for free. Errol Spence is ranked number 5. Hey, Errol. You next in line behind Cody Crowley, because Santillan and Giovanni Santillan is taken. And Errol Spence is number 5. God damn, how that elevator work when you don't have those titles, boy. They just goddamn give you this sticker, number 5. Sir, please enter the elevator and go to number 5, floor number 5, and wait for us to give you further instructions. What? I want to go, sir. The sticker says number 5 in the IBF rankings. Please push number 5 on the elevator and hit the close. The 2 arrows that's in. Yeah, we'll talk to you later. Errol, you can take on Jaron Ennis. That's a fight that people want to see. Errol Spence versus Jaron Ennis, man. Come on now. Now, this what makes it even more like silly putty. You know what I'm saying? Because I keep on hearing that Bozy want to train Spence, and that Spence may potentially be over there in Philly. And though I've heard so much, over there at the World Class Furniture Store, I don't think that Spence will do that. I don't believe it. I'm going to give him the benefit of everything, doubt and beyond, that he will not go over here and train with a possible opponent that he may meet at 154. Jaron Ennis is not going to be at 47 that long. He's a big 47-pounder. I don't care how young he is. It'll be stupid for him not to, he already has a title. I'll be trying to put this 47 behind me the way I received the title. And if he's able to unify, of course, they still waiting on Crawford, playing catch up, right? And before he moves to 54. But Errol Spence, the ladder doesn't have to go any lower than that. Let's stop at Cinco. We have Mr. Cinco. He can be next for Jaron Ennis. You know what I'm saying? Jaron Ennis was waiting on you, Spence, to come home. You know what I'm saying? He was waiting on you. But when everything started to play out, and they saw that you was going to be coming home looking different, sounding different, and they wasn't going to be able to get that freaking fight for the undisputed titles and then move up to 54. Now, they have been on record for submitting administrative paperwork to receive that IBF championship. So guess what? It was your belt before Crawford, Spence. Go back and get that belt. Go back and get your belt, man, that you got from Kell Brook that used to be Sean Porter's. Go back. Show the people who you are. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to face Crawford. The fans want you to face Crawford, but you don't want to face him. I know that eclipse burning your corner again. Keep your eyes safe. Don't look into the sunlight, goddammit. You know what I'm saying? Keep them eyes safe. But we would like to see you face Jaron Ennis and get it over with, and see, can you get your belt back? Or does Team Ennis have like a bond, like they got with Showtime. They're showing loyalty to Spence because you're from Long Island. They don't want to fight the homie. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to fight the homie because they was pulling for you in there when you went in there with Crawford. They was pulling for you. So they probably, you know how the black fighters do, y'all. Ah, that's my bro. We from the same hood, same set. Oh man, that's my bro. I can't do that. I can't do that. Ah, that's my bro right there. I can't do that. I really can't do that, y'all. For real, I can't do that. All right, but he's right there. It's a good fight. Former unified world champion against an email administrative logistic having in my inbox, you know what I'm saying? Red receipt, everything. That is a good fight right there. I ain't gonna lie. Go get your belt back, bro. Now back to the man. You know what I'm saying? Because neither one of you niggas want to fight him. But I just want to, put that out there that Errol Spence is number 5 in the IBF, and he will be a good fight. You know what I'm saying? So y'all need to stop putting Crawford's name up there with Ennis. Low on deck, what's good? What's good? I'm hearing Bud could be the unified champ at 154 in his first fight. The WB and the WBO will be his PBC. Will be his. PBC is sick. Bud is up right now. Errol's stuck right now. I like that. I like the wordplay, man. You know what I'm saying? Errol is stuck right now. Bud is up right now. Yes. Yes, you're right. You know what I'm saying? Let's not remind them that they said the fans was gonna be sick. That's what Leonard Ellaby said. They're gonna be sick. They're gonna be sick. But it seems like the fevers are coming from over there at PBC. And look, just frame this right quick, y'all. How can one black fighter from Omaha, right, where, they don't have a lot of professional sports over there at all. Like, how can a fighter that's not even 1% of the collective number or percentage of boxers throughout, because this is a global sport, Bud Crawford is not even 1% of that. How can a fighter that's never been considered the cash cow of boxing, he's never been on a scale where they compare him to Floyd Mayweather. It's when it comes to pay-per-view prices, you know what I'm saying, and putting up those numbers, right? They never gave him that applaud. How can PBC be so mad at him though? Like, how can you continue to try to stab this man in the back when the Aerosexuals in 22 was saying that Al Heyman would never do business with Crawford again because he walked away from negotiations to fight David Avanesian. They say Al Heyman would never do business with him again. All because Crawford was supposedly agreed to everything and he wanted to see the books. He just wanted some transparency. He wanted to check the logs. He wanted to see where the money was going. And they say, how dare Crawford? Who the F he think he is? Trying to be a businessman. No, nigga, we treating you like you top-ranked Toby. That's the name we gave you. They gave this man slave names. And not only that, bro, that's another thing that, the fans, they can say that, but that's what Spence underestimated Crawford too. Crawford said he was going to break him like Kunta. So, he was on that little bandwagon to I wouldn't say emasculate. I would say pretty much, excoriate Crawford's name, defame him, humiliate him at the press conference and say he was going to break him like Kunta. And I was there. I remember when people was laughing and shit. And there wasn't not a lot of black people in there. This was Beverly Hills. So I had to bring the South to the West Coast, shawty. You know what I'm saying? And while I was there, I looked around when I heard those chuckles, and I said, them bastards. You know what I'm saying? They up there laughing for a whole different reason. But, Spence up there talking about I'm going to break him like Kunta. I say, man, bro, Crawford human at the end of the day. He's been hearing all this slave shit, and he know why y'all talking that. Because he a dark-skinned brother, you know what I'm saying? He give you a throwback retro Joe Frazier looking, You know what I'm saying, fighter. And people be trying to, low key. To this day, you hear people talk about, oh man, he ain't marketable. Why is that? Man, come on, bro. You gonna have me check? Why is why he ain't marketable though? Why he ain't marketable? Please tell me. Man, shit, you gonna make me say that shit, man? No, please tell me what? Why he ain't marketable? Man, they market the fighters that's handsome. He ain't handsome. Excuse me. I'm just saying, he ain't handsome. Niggas be low key calling Crawford ugly, and I'm taken back by that, man. I'm saying to myself, what does looks have to do with him getting a fight done, yo? And I guess to these YTC, this new era, right? Generation Z, this new era of the mindset of these brothers, they're really paying attention to how fighters look. See, when you look at Ryan Garcia, his hair, oh man, the complexion of his skin is just unblemished, and his cheek structure and stuff like that. See, he's marketable. That's why he gets sponsors. He's marketable. But Crawford, it's almost like these are the type of dudes that we will all be on the plantation together, but you never see them working in the field because they in the back telling on us. You know what I'm saying? Scotty, you see what Scotty was doing? See. I ain't want to say nothing, but he ain't doing too much work out there. He up there talking about boxing too much. He ain't really working. Go get your shotgun and go out there. Get your whip. Go out there. I tell you, he talking now. Can I get some scraps later? Can I get some of them scraps? And scraps is good. Okay. I'll go back out there. Yeah, but he wasn't doing too much work. I'm telling you, he ain't. They'll be out there snitching on me, y'all. He always talking about that nigga Crawford. I hate him. I'm going to tell him to go out there to that apple tree that's like 200 yards away and pick some apples. And then once he get out there, I'm going to say, hey, you got to escape. You release them dogs on him, all right? I'm going to fix this. They be out there, look, dog. Man, I'm telling you, they be snitching, man. These people be snitching like it's cool. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. They be bringing this slave stuff up on Crawford, and they thought he wasn't gonna digest that. He did. He digested like a salt tablet, bro. He took that vengeance out on freaking Errol Spence, man. He might have been, trying to be cordial at the end and say, hey, man, I'd like to thank you. You made the fight happen. But, man, look, the man already collected the straps. So therefore, he was just doing doing protocol. He was just playing nice at the end. The cameras was rolling. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to, kick Spence. You know what I'm saying? While he was already bleeding in his freaking both eyeballs and brows, every freaking diameter of his freaking facial composition. He was just playing nice. But these cats up here talking about how Crawford looks and his slave connection and shit like that. Really, man. You have to look at this new generation is different. These new generation is different, man. And they even spoke about Tank. Tank has a viral video going out that he looks extremely ripped, right? But these are the same individuals when Tank was ballooning up in weight in between fights. They were showing pictures of him looking like a Cabbage Patch doll back in the day and making fun of him. But they even saying, oh man, Tank is this, that, and the other, and trying to say he was a handsome, marketable fighter. I mean, look, he ain't getting no more marketability than Ryan Garcia. Because at the end of the day, he's who he is. He don't take no shit off nobody. Mr. L Chin Checker himself, he got in that trouble. People see him from, walking in there, snatching that girl up and, just having his moments outside the ring. But he's a light-skinned dude. Crawford has ran into a dilemma where he has a pattern of black men who always want to basically judge him like it's a beauty pageant on his marketability being placed off his skin complexion, how he looks as a fighter. I'm being honest, man. I never heard some shit like that, man. I know greatness come with challenges. You know what I'm saying? Not all of them are alike. But we know each fighter look different. And Crawford has been able to achieve greatness and still look like who he was when he looked in the mirror. He's still the same person. You know what I'm saying? And it has nothing to do with him achieving greatness. He's one of the greatest of this era, and he go up here and unify this division. They're not going to be talking about his appearance, how that look. They're going to be talking about how his body will work, his portfolio look. Shout out to Blue Hustle Man in the building. I wanted to make sure that he gets a shout out because I don't have a Mac Mob moist meter, but he absolutely brought it to my attention that he might have been a little bit of moist the other day. So I want to make sure that I acknowledge and leave no abnormalities when it comes to communication, that I acknowledge Blue Hustle Man in the building. What's good, man? Salute to you, brother. Thanks for showing up. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you all recognize that I acknowledged Blue Hustle Man being on deck in the chat. So I would not be held accountable in front of my peers anymore, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Anymore. This is Monday, and I have acknowledged Blue Hustle Man being on deck in the building. April 8th, 2024. All right? Band on deck, I see you. What's good, man? What up, WCS and the hottest chat? What up, B Mac the Don? Live yesterday as always. Absolutely. I agree, WCS. Al Heyman and the PBC would never let it happen. That's unfortunate, man. Like, Crawford is only one fighter out of the the group that is considered moneymakers at this point. Big names. And the sport is struggling right now. I ain't gonna lie. I tell people boxing is a part of a system. You allow too many people to invade this system, allow them to eat from this system. No one's basically dressed down in conformity. So you're going to get everybody doing their own thing. Everybody's format is different at the end of the day. But they only have so many big dogs at the top that has the budget to put on these shows on TV, like the flagship Top Rank. The Zone. You know what I'm saying? Golden Boy whenever they choose to. Shit like that, right? But PBC is really being stubborn about this, cross promotion just with Crawford. It's like they wanted him to leave Top Rank. He left Top Rank. He went over there and he attempted, for what he had, the resources that he had with him, the skeleton crew that he had with him on his team. They went over there and attempted to negotiate, agreeing to everything. Just like David Benavidez. He was willing to take the minimal amount to face Canelo Alvarez. And Canelo said no. The only thing with Crawford, he agreed to everything, but he wanted to fight in 2022. All the duck talk and everything else, he didn't duck anything. The final revision came back and they wanted the fight to happen in 2023. Crawford said no. He walked away, made over $5 million, to fight Avanesian, then, returned back for negotiation in 23, and we all seen how it played out. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the GOAT, Big Blunts and Boxing in the building. What's good with you, bro? Sir Foul Player, say, the year is 2024. PBC, the company where every boxer is his own boss, is sacrificing their own operation to stop Bud from doing business. PBC is suffering and Bud is still doing his thing. It's funny you mention that, Foul Player. You make a good point you bring up a good point when you're talking about every boxer is his own boss. You know why? That's important to note because I remember, some of these content creators and, they was trying to give us impression that Al is setting them up for success with them having their own promotional company. So Let's just briefly touch on why Crawford is being criticized by Sampson. When Sampson went on that freaking, I think he was sober. I want to say drunken, but I can't put that tag on him. So let's say sobriety, a word that I made up, right? Let's say he was in his sobriety state when he said that Crawford wants to co-promote. Now, how often do you see fighters over there at PBC that's supposed to have this promotional company attached to their name, and they're making all this money? Are you paying for the site fee, first of all? Is that coming out your purse? So for all of you content creators to believe that Al was setting them up just because they have a promotional company, that's a label that is attached, listen, it's just like a LLC, a S Corp, and all this other stuff. Yes, little loopholes that make it seem like it's this, that, and the other. But these fighters are not paying site fees. They're not providing the funding for these fights. So for them to be their own boss, how many of these fighters you see walking away from PBC that's over here trying to co-promote? Once again, Crawford is showing you that he's willing to step up and he wants to co-promote the Fundora fight. And Sampson's up here like, nope. And he to me, he came off as a bit racist to me. I used the words discriminatory or prejudice before, seriously. And I wasn't trying to be, too poignant and drop the R word. But Sampson came off to me as when he was just denying Crawford just based off because he's already there and he don't want to provide Crawford the opportunity on his watch. That's what I got there, foul player. Like, yeah, they supposed to be their own boss, but they're really not their own boss. It just looks good in the language. But what are you doing behind the scenes? Is Al letting y'all do anything with that promotional company that's attached to all y'all name? I don't think so, buddy. I don't think so. 16 South on deck. What's good? Stantionis, who wins Crawford or Virgil? Stantionis, who wins Crawford or Virgil? I mean, Kavalaskis. I don't quite know what you're talking about. Brent on deck. What's good? Israel Manjamal WBA. Yeah, that'd be great. We're looking at, April 20th is possible deadline. We'll see if that expiration comes and we get word either before or on that date. That's what we're looking at, man. You know what I'm saying? We want to see what word come out. Look, I'm going to be extremely happy. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be a bit jovial if the news come out and Crawford's fighting for freaking unification in his first fight at 154. Oh man, I'm going to be super happy. I'm going to have to go to get some of that premium shrimp again and some perch. Maybe some red snapper, goddammit. Get some of them sesame fries. I mean, yeah, get me a nice little slushy, sit back and chill, and goddamn once again celebrate and give a toast to all the Crawford supporters out there that have faith that he'll make these moves before he knocked the gloves and retire from the sport. I hope the Turk is really, gonna have some influence because, the way Sampson was talking about, oh, Lou, he's the best negotiator in the sport, man. Lou will get it done. He's gonna talk to the WBO president, Paco. He's gonna get everything done. Well, like I said before, Paco is not stupid. He knows what was going on with this verbal freaking rematch agreement up here trying to keep the belt while Fundora is injured. No, they're not stupid. You know what I'm saying? 913 in the building, man. What's good, bro? It's almost like PBC wants blackball Crawford at the expense of their own company. They could have 3/4 money fights if they match with Bud. Man, fire, man. Facts in the chat, bro. You ain't lying, 913. Like, what's up with them just zooming in on one fighter? Why are your optics focused on just a single fighter? Are you who's running the show over there, bro? I thought y'all was with Amazon Prime. That just goes to show you, Amazon is not really danger close to them. Amazon is from afar, for real, for real. They're focused on other entities that are successfully moving and grooving smoothly and bringing them in money. Like ONE FC. ONE FC was there already, putting on fight cards and everything. Got a whole fight card, fight schedule that they put out there. All that damn good fights over there. But this PBC, I haven't heard about no annual budget. I have no inclination of any type of numbers like dates or big name fights coming out. All we hear is rumor mill. Supposedly in July, Caleb Plant's gonna fight Jamal Charlo and this, that, and the other. I don't know, man. I can neither confirm or deny. Like, Tank's supposed to be fighting Frank Martin. Where's the promo besides the flyer? The fighter that has his own promotion company, why can't they do promo and put the promo out there? And like I tell the YTC all the time, they depend on us to do all the freebies. You know what I'm saying? We over here and we promote it. We speak on it. You know what I'm saying? We put it out there on the airways. And we do it for free labor, y'all. We don't even do it for minimum wage, man. We doing this pro bono. The only time it don't become pro bono is when somebody support the channel. You know what I'm saying? And give you any donations. If anybody chooses to donate to WCS, there's my Cash App right there. You know what I'm saying? Mostly I don't really put it out there like that. But you choose to donate to the channel, cool. That's on you. Moving on. Smoke Session Sports and Entertainment. What's good? Salute to you. Man, shout out to my guy Juice Lee in the building, man. What's good with Juice? Salute WCS and the hottest chat in the game. Salute to you, man. I see you in the building. Golden text B-Mac. Y'all please get that texting down and put a red receipt on it. So whatever transition, transition, whatever communication y'all trying to get through, make sure it hit the distant end, man. Floyd hating on Bud, his legacy is in jeopardy. People always say that Floyd's hating on something. I mean, Floyd been that type of person for the longest. Like, I've seen him operate in person. Just like it's supposed to be Tank's fight week, and he want to talk about how saturated the sport is with belts. We already know the sport of boxing has a lot of world championships in it. You know what I'm saying? But come on, man. I don't see Floyd actually participating where he has to put forth effort for a common cause. I just think that you have to pay Floyd for everything. So if he's going to go and, get into boxing and have these appearances, rather, you're going to have to pay him out the pocket. He's not going to do it pro bono. No, he's going to get paid. And that's the one thing about Floyd, man. You can't be mad at him for the money that he earned and who he is as a person. But he hasn't gave anything back to the sport. And then I see these fighters that get signed to him. He's definitely not going to have you put your name as your own promotional company like PBC. I mean, it's going to have Mayweather Promotions all over it, and that's the percentage that they're going to yank from you before you even get your final. You know what I'm saying? When he going to get all that when you get the gross and all that. By the time you get the net, hey, I can guarantee you they're going to be able to have all that taken care of. Real talk. But back to the task at hand, though. Only thing I can say about this, I like what's going on, you know what I'm saying, with Terence Crawford separating himself from all the other talk. You know what I'm saying? From all the other talk. Just separate himself, doing his own thing. His name is out there in the bright lights as always. And I think we're going to hear some good information coming out in the next 2 weeks. I think we are, man. I think we're gonna have some really, really good information coming out. And you know, if Alice Sheik want to come over here and establish his presence in his U.S. debut, and Crawford is the Crawford is partially spearheading that movement, or being the pioneer for that side. See, people need to look at it from a longer standpoint too. Is that everything goes well with this fight and Crawford going in there for these unifications, and then let's just say he ended up unifying the 154-pound division. Those next two fights, if they can make it happen, because money talks, he may be able to have them in Saudi Arabia. He may be able to. I don't know, man. I don't know. I was about to say he may be able to persuade them cats over PBC to come over there, but I think he's just teaching them a lesson. Like the only fighter they have to fuck with right now is Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? He's the biggest name right now. He's the hottest name out. So for PBC, being that the Sheik, he's showing potential to fuck and support and put, be the financier for Terence Crawford fight. That really puts PBC in a hard place because they can't do anything to stop it. That's the fucked up part about a sport that's not regulated. There's no boss. You have individual branches where fruit is being, what people are, what the branches are bearing fruit, and everybody can get a taste or whatever. That's the crazy part about boxing. And not all the time, you're gonna play in boxing. It's gonna be some grime. And we seen this griminess happen with Errol Spence going to Vegas and all that. But also the back door, here come Alice Sheik saying, "Yeah, I see what you did. That's why I don't fuck with y'all right now." And he may, I don't know how it all went. I don't know how long Crawford been in communication with Alice Sheik, but just the word to hit the blog like it did, and he potentially may support and finance, it changes things. Because Crawford don't really have to worry about the budget and people coming up here, "Oh, you only getting 30%. Like Samson. Once again, I have to use Samson's quotes. Crawford want more than 50% with Sebastian Fundora, and that would never happen. I'm saying your fighter just was able to stand back up on his 2 feet after being blessed to sunbathe up under the lights by Mendoza. Yeah, they had to give him some smelling salt to wake that man up. And now all of a sudden he's a 50% fighter against a man that has already established his legacy and that can retire today, and he's a Hall of Famer. He already has his hand cast. And you're trying to say Crawford 50% against Fundora? I mean, more than 50%? He was trying to make it seem like he was disgusted and Crawford disrespected him. Everything is, that would never happen. Ha! That would never happen. Okay. That's the one thing that I can appreciate about the branches of boxing. The fruit it bears, everybody can eat from that. Sometimes you don't know who eating, where, and how. Boxing allows anybody and everybody to be a part of it. So even though they have the slimy and nefarious parts where fighters get robbed, or and in some fights that we think the other fighter did what they need to do to win, you have some controversial decisions. We have some of the best fighters not even coming close to fighting each other. We have that. But also you have bright moments like we have now where you can have individuals step in with some power. You know what I'm saying? They have that consignment, that monetary consignment that they can work with. And they don't have nobody they have to answer to over here. Who's running it? Who's in charge of the U.S. boxing over here on the professional level with the promotion? Nobody. You know what I'm saying? All the commissions are regional based. You know what I'm saying? So no one commission, is in the whole facet of boxing. So yeah, let's wait till this This get popping, man. Love it, love it, love it. You know what I'm saying? So, but right now, you know, Q the God Boxing, man. Shout out to you, Q. What's good with it, brother? Salute to you. For Hayden, what's popping? But right now, with Bud potentially, you know, his 41st fight being the unification, he might be able to unify 3/4 of the division of 154 super welterweight by the end of this calendar year. That shit would be great. That shit would be great, man. Like a cold glass of water, man. That shit would be great if he's able to get 3 of the 4 titles. Then the aerosexual can say, well, you know, I have to admit, the Bud been doing all the heavy lifting. I say, yeah, he has. Take your punk ass on. You know what I'm saying? I wonder if y'all gonna go up here and say Bud been doing all the heavy lifting if he get 3 titles this year. And then, you know, get back in communication with the Sheik and see if he can somehow finesse that other belt, because Bud might be potentially fighting, you know, for the WBO, WBA, and then for the IBF, and the WBC may be last. You know what I'm saying? The WBC may be last. Seriously, and that's a very, very solid gauntlet for Bud Crawford to run. You know, just the fact, I'm not saying he's gonna wipe these dudes out, but all I'm saying, that's a very solid gauntlet, because these people may not act like they paying attention to what Bud is on the brink of accomplishing. You know what I'm saying? But they paying attention, and also they're gonna pay attention to see can he keep his knockout streak going. You know what I'm saying? They paying attention, man. They are paying attention. Real talk. I mean, they up here biting the shit out of their freaking nails. That has become their daily diet when they're on live. When they hear WCS talk about Crawford, they up here fingernails just flying everywhere and shit. They gnawing them motherfuckers down like they sweet tart. Like, I mean, come on, bro. Like they sweet tarts, man. They having snacks every day. You know what I'm saying? Fingernails. That's what they chomping on. They trying to find out what's next for Crawford. Period. So y'all pay attention as always. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. We're gonna stay close to the situation at all time. And I ask y'all continue to support WCS at your convenience. You know what I'm saying? We should do this again. Shout out to you know, Team Tucker over there, Jahad Tucker and all them cats. Shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? And keep your eyes out. Shout out to, you know, these memories right here as I close this out. You know what I'm saying? Let me go up here to this other. Where are you at? I know I had you on here. Where is that at? Yeah. Y'all be sure to follow Jahad Tucker, man. One of the most entertaining 154 pounders out there on the rise. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Team Tucker. Never forget these reflections right here, y'all. The reason why they're so important is that, you know, like I said before, Bud Crawford beat up the entire boxing community, a promotion. He beat up all the aerosexuals that was in attendance. He beat up Jamel Charlo and his wife who was in attendance. Just beat them up all at the same time with his words. What champion have you ever seen physically beating up his compeer, his divisional compeer in Errol Spence, and also verbal thrashing the unified undisputed champion at the higher weight division at 154? So he's the only fighter I know to basically have a win over the current reigning unified champion in his division, 147 pound, and then the one that was above 147 at 154. He basically verbal thrashed him too and beat him all sorts of kind of ways, because he was watching and he was listening. He was watching what Crawford was doing and he was listening to telling him ringside. You know what I'm saying? This was real life, y'all. This is real life. It went from strap season to patch season. Seriously, that's what happened. This right here will never go away, man. Look at that. No, this is not a freaking movie set, y'all. This is not Hollywood. This happened at the T-Mobile Massacre in Las Vegas. Look, that is not special effects, right? That is not special effects. It looked like the discombobulation, the distortion in his facial structure with all the blood and everything. It's almost like this is part of a Friday the 13th, Freddy Krueger, Jason, one of those old school movies. Look at that, man. Look how beautiful turn that lead jab into a hook. Look at that, man. That's beautiful. I'm on the right side of history, dog. I'm not sitting in a stool praying like Errol Spence was that night. And like the aerosexuals hand over mouth movement. Their hand was over their mouth that day. They had their other left hand over their eyeballs and they was busy peeking out in between their fingers. This was a travesty. This was a travesty, y'all. I'm just being honest on what I seen. I'm just being honest, man. Crawford made that man pray to the Holy Spirit, the Most High, whoever that was he was looking at when his eyes was closed. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. We found out Errol Spence was wearing red bottoms, you know what I'm saying, July 29th. What fighters had you ever seen wearing red bottoms? This man was showing us that, hey, he got red bottoms while he was sitting on his ass to the help of Crawford, who's being escorted to the neutral corner. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Not all warriors are the same. But I appreciate y'all pulling up, man. Continue to support WCS. I'm out. Peace.